started skateboarding about 37 years ago. I started back in high school. Back then it was kind of an extension of surfing. It was something that I felt I could do anywhere, anytime, so I really got into it. I have a couple of degenerated discs, and about 10 years ago, it just got really bad. I had some severe back pain for about a year's worth of time. During that year, I tried everything I could think of to try to get rid of the pain. I was taking ibuprofen, trying the glucosamine, chondroitin, icing, physical therapy exercises, stretches, back brace with magnets. I was just trying everything that I could come across to try to get rid of the pain. It was just really bad. My job was a courier, and there was a lot of lifting, twisting, and I had a route. It's a cool route. It was up in the mountains, had a four-wheel drive truck, but the rough dirt roads and potholes and stuff were just, it was just like a spike was jabbing into my back. Every little bump, every little pothole, everything on the road, and just was killing me to even just do my job. And with the back problem, I thought that I might even have to retire from my job, and I could barely walk without a lot of pain, let alone ride a skateboard. So I thought I was gonna have to retire from that and hang that up as well. Every once in a while I would get setbacks where I would do something, move some way where it would just tweak my back, and it would just get worse than it normally was. Just severe pain to where a lot of times I'd just have to lay on the floor. I couldn't even move, it was so bad. And I knew that that would make my back even worse than normal for at least 2 weeks from there. I got into the habit of doing my prayer time in the mornings. One morning I had one of those setbacks, just knew it was gonna be torture for the next couple of weeks. I really couldn't take off work because I needed to make the money to pay for the bills, so I just knew another 2 weeks of severe pain. So that morning I went into my prayer time, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I just cried out to God, God, please take away this pain. I just can't take it anymore, Lord, it hurts so bad. Please heal me from this pain. So I finished my prayer time up that morning, started going through my routine, getting ready for work, making my lunch, making my breakfast and everything. And I remember I was at the sink, and I kind of noticed it didn't feel like my back was hurting, and I kind of twisted, but then I kind of tried to act like I didn't notice, because I look back on it now and I know that I was, if I acknowledge it, it'll start hurting again. So I finished up, got through my routine of getting ready for work, got to my car, was heading to work, and I've always driven a stick shift, and that was another thing, that every time I shifted, every time I put on the brakes, it would feel like a spike was just jamming in my back. So I started on my way to work, was shifting and put on the brake, and again I noticed I wasn't feeling any pain in my back. So I just kind of twisted, and then again I was like, oh, I better not think about it, because the pain will come back if I acknowledge that I'm not feeling any pain right now. I always brought this big ice chest for food for the day and a backpack full of stuff I needed for work, and I would have to squat down and tighten my back muscles up to lift it up, because it just hurt like crazy to do that. And once I got to work, I lifted those things up and I noticed the pain wasn't there. Then I knew God did a total miracle in my back to take that pain away. And I just went crazy then. I started jumping around. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Went into work, started telling everybody that God did a miracle in my back, and the pain was gone. First time in a year, after trying everything that I could think of, right that morning after prayer time, after going through a year of total pain, having a setback just that morning, I knew God had done a miracle in my life. That day on my route, where I could barely walk my route before I ran the whole route, just totally excited and knowing God had done a miracle in my life. At that point, I had seen an x-ray on my back. That's how I knew that I had the degenerated discs. But I had already set up an appointment to get an MRI, so I was kind of excited to go see what that looked like, to see if God just restored my discs and healed me. And so I got the MRI done, and I looked at the pictures, and I could see that all from the top of my back, the discs were kind of like rectangles, and it was kind of like they were lit up, like there were little lights in each one of the discs, all the way down until I got to my lower back discs, and they looked like black shriveled up prunes, and I knew, ooh man, those don't look good. So I kind of wondered, God took this pain away, but I still see the discs look bad. and tried to figure it out, what was going on. And I think I realized that what God had done is He did a miracle. He healed me from the pain, and He gave me another chance at doing a lot of things that I couldn't do for a long time. I could see that He left me with a limitation so I wouldn't go back to trying to skateboard all the time and skate like I did when I was 15, and could see that the years worth of time of major pain, I learned a whole lot about taking care of my back and what I needed to do to keep my back in shape and not set myself back to where I was. So I knew God did a miracle. I knew that I had some limitations. God had other things for me to do than to skateboard all the time. But it was just absolutely awesome that God did a miracle in my life, that I can even think about skateboarding again now, and with my 7-year-old be able to come to the skate park and skate with him after having gone through such major pain in my back that God just did an absolute miracle.